All right, so we're at the top of the hour here. OCEA is grinding higher. It's up 39%, which is not a huge gap. The problem is there's a couple things I don't like about it. I haven't taken trades on it. I don't like the daily chart with these big red candles back here, and I don't like that it's under the 200, but it's made a much bigger move than I expected. Unfortunately, the higher it gets, the closer it gets to that 200 moving average, which I have at around 789. So right now we're 40 50 cents away from that resistance point. If you didn't trade it earlier, and I don't blame you for not trading it earlier, I didn't trade it either because I didn't like the daily chart, then trading it now feels tricky. Generally speaking, if a stock starts to squeeze up, this is the area that I like to be trading in when you've got that nice leg higher. And then the first pullback into the second leg higher, these are areas I typically would like to be trading it. But there are times when I'll see something and for whatever reason I'll say, I just don't like it. And that was the case on this one. I saw it at 585 and I said, no, this was on the scanners, way back at 585. And I said, no, I don't really like it. I don't like the daily chart. I don't like the position of the 200 moving average. It doesn't feel strong enough to me. And in this market, being selective has paid me very well. But in this case, it kept me out of what ended up being a nice move. So, that's the thing with improving your accuracy. You're going to take fewer trades, and some of those trades would have been winners. So there is a sacrifice to increase accuracy. It's not just that you save yourself losses. You will cost yourself some winners, but hopefully the net result is that with a higher accuracy, you're taking trading with bigger position sizes and you have higher profits, which I think is the case for me this month. But this is an example of a trade that I sat and watched and didn't take a single position on because I didn't feel like it closely enough met my criteria for having a lot of potential. So I underestimated it, I suppose. Looking back, there's nothing I would really say I was wrong about in terms of the things I didn't like. But what sometimes happens is when there's an absence of anything else, even a subpar setup can perform better because traders sort of flock to it, get excited. And maybe I underestimated that effect, that it was the most interesting stock at the time. And for that reason, even though there were good reasons that it probably wasn't a quality setup, it had enough attention that it got the volume. And then once you have the volume, you get the move. So anyways, you did have a little pullback there at around 635. You had a doji, and then it broke through that. It kind of pulls away here up to 650, 665, goes up to 7. Had a high right there. I thought maybe it was going to be done at 715. That was where we had this candle right here, which I sort of thought was, okay, double top rejection. But we also had that right there, double top, failed, and then goes higher. So fails, but then goes a little higher. That one, little doji, dropped down, started to look like a head and shoulders, and then squeezes up a little higher. I still feel like it's, again, at this point, I'm not going to take a trade on it. It's too close to the 200 moving average. I think that it's extended anyways. So, so that's that. So now it's 9:06. So some of you guys broke the ice and got some trades on this one. And you're right, VCIG from yesterday, maybe triggering a little bit more FOMO, MOMO today. This one really gave a nice move, which was unexpected, especially off of its pre-market chart. The pre-market chart was sort of like, nah, thickly traded, nothing super exciting. And then all of a sudden it pulls away here, makes a really nice move up to 555. First pullback, and wow. So, that was an impressive move yesterday. There's no question about that. Over 200%. So VCIG, is it worth considering today? Well, it's retraced more than 50% of the move. So when you get that big of a retracement, it can be hard to trust it for continuation. So probably not. OCEA just hit a new high. Right there. So 9:08, we've got 22 minutes to the opening bell. Gonna see if something else pops up. Let's see how this does near the 200 moving average. So kind of like buying a stock below VWAP, I need to see it break through that level. There's going to be a higher price to pay for that confirmation, but in this case, I think it makes sense. It's at about, let's see, 783. You know, you have to say though, the 5-minute is pretty clean. Nice 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 green candles, only 2 red candles, and then right back into 2 more green candles. And now you've had a reset. I never like when I look at a chart and I see a red shooting star doji like this. So that plus the 200 were the two things that gave me pause. But yeah, it also has a clean volume profile right here. So I set my daily charts to regular trading hours. So the daily charts don't update until 9:30. That's the way I've always used daily charts. So my daily charts don't include pre-market or after-hour price action. They only include intraday price action. Okay, so right now we're above the 200. And we're right under $8. So let's watch for dips. Breaking through the 200 is important. Will it hold over 8? No. So it broke 8 and then dropped back below to 96. So when you have a stock that pierces a whole dollar and then comes back below it, whole dollars and half dollars can act as forms of support and resistance. So if it came back down, you saw a lot of buying right there at $8 on the bid, I would be tempted to buy at 802 with a stop at 799. But when it breaks 8 and flushes below it, then all of a sudden it's not holding as support. So now getting in right here, well, it's going to have $8 as resistance on the upside. Now there is a big bid on the level 2. But you know, your 5-minute is a bit extended and the 1-minute is a bit extended as well. So this has created a pause, you know, when something is already extended. Wow. So your high there is 814. So what do we think of that? Is that a trap? Is that going to be a bull trap? So we look at the 1-minute chart and now you see a big red candle. It's a false breakout. I think that was a bull trap. So will that 200 moving average hold? So we broke above it. Just looking at a couple other charts here. We've got about 13 minutes to the opening bell. I like using 10-second charts for zooming in on this kind of price action. It helps me see it better. We have 10-second charts for Warrior members who are using this platform. Okay, so the low there was 76. I would say we have a pivot at $8, but we had that bull trap that went up to 814. So we'd have to get above 8 and then back up towards the high of that candle. There's a seller at $8 here. So, you could take small scalp trades through any of this range. It feels kind of silly in some ways to miss big moves and then just take a 5-cent scalp on a break of a $0.50. But in any case, you could. If it breaks through 8, there could be a scalp up to 808, maybe 810. But now you've got another red candle there. So 9:22, 8 minutes to the opening bell. So with only 6 minutes, a little over 5 minutes to the opening bell, 5 minutes to the bell, I'm not going to take any trades here going into the open. I want to see how this holds up. I kind of expect it's going to fade, but you know, if it goes higher, it goes higher, so that's fine. We'll keep it on watch, and we'll look to see if we get anything else that pops up between now and 10:15. So no trades yet for me today. Had a little bit of a bias on OCEA. Didn't really like it initially, and then wasn't able to pull the trigger as it started to get extended. So no trades on that one. We'll wait to see if anything else pops up here as we get further into the morning. All right, 3 minutes to the opening bell. So we'll see what the day has to offer. Reminders always for those tuning in on YouTube. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you hit the thumbs up. I hope you subscribe. And I want to remind you that trading is risky and my results aren't typical. So make sure you take it slow and practice in a simulator before you put real money on the line. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow morning.